The way we consume and share news today, it is largely rooted in social media. Outlets a reason why we decided it is important to take a look at what's being discussed online. For our social media minute, we're joined by Erica in the studio. Good morning.
Hi.
We're talking about eco-anxiety today. That's when weather affects your mood and
is that what it's called?
Stamina. Yes, I had no idea.
I have severe eco-anxiety.
It's funny because I can blame mornings, I can blame weather, and I'm wondering if it's self-fulfilling more than anything else. But anyway, let us know, guys. We're not alone in this suffering from a mean case of eco-anxiety, right? Do let us know.
Yep.
Jumping into our social media minute portion of the day, a group of teary-eyed Koryoin that fled war in Ukraine all arrived here in Incheon International Airport for that reunion.
A group of Koryoin who recently fled Ukraine arrived here in South Korea on Wednesday. And when I say Koryoin, we're talking about ethnic Koreans living in Central Asia, as well as parts of Ukraine and Russia.
How many are in this group that just recently arrived? And do we know anything about their stories?
According to a Gwangju-based association who represent the ethnic Koreans, the latest group to arrive includes 8 children and infants, as well as 13 women. Now, nearly 30 people consisting of children, women, and seniors are going to land in South Korea just this week alone. And this follows the arrival of a 10-year-old girl from Ukraine earlier this month. She arrived after first taking shelter in Budapest, Hungary, after fleeing from Ukraine. An official of the Koryoin village said the plan is to evacuate a further 100 people into the country.
And it seems they're coming in increments, not all at once necessarily. Yep. They all come from different routes as well. How many Ukrainian nationals are actually currently living at this Koryoin village?
Around 300 presently. They have family and relatives living in Ukraine. Now, when these people, desperate to flee the country, asked for help, the local community stepped in. It raised over 33 million won, roughly $27,000 this month in March through donations sent to the village from, individuals and groups. Among the groups that donated include the Catholic Archdiocese of Gwangju, which sponsored 15 flight tickets. The Gwangju YMCA donated 2.5 million won, or a little over $2,000. And the list provided by the association shows it also received many small cash donations from individuals ranging from 10,000 won, $10 to 100,000 won or $100.
Small to big donations all amount to something really much more monumental. These Koryoins are here probably because they've ran out of options. They have no other place to go.
Correct. And South Korea stepped up to offer help. Now, Koryoin literally translates to the people of Korea. Some 500,000 ethnic Koreans are thought to reside in the post-Soviet states, including Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and Ukraine. Now, their immigration dates back to the 19th century. These are the descendants of Korea's independence fighters.
Right, which is why perhaps it is our responsibility of future generations to welcome them in open arms when they are absolutely in need. And it looks like some civic groups have urged the government to issue emergency travel visas, speed up the immigration process that usually takes quite a bit of time for Korean livings in Ukraine.
That's right. But people hoping to come to Korea through neighboring countries to Ukraine, including Poland and Romania, they're facing challenges. Some of them have lost their identification, travel documents, passports, which makes it difficult for them to receive visas. And against this backdrop, the Ministry of Justice announced on Tuesday that it's going to expand the scope of family visas issued for Koryoin in Ukraine and those living in Korea who have relatives in Ukraine.
Of course, they've displaced important documents and IDs even. They were in a rush to flee the country, right? So to make an exception, it seems timely. How many Ukrainian nationals have entered South Korea since the start of the war?
164 Ukrainian nationals have entered South Korea between March 8th and the 27th.
These are not just adults, it's their children too. And I'm wondering what will it take to actually help them acclimate to Korean society. A great deal of, I think, intergovernmental help is needed, right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll wait and see how that story pans out. On to our second story. We did promise you some cultural news. Who will follow in the footsteps of BTS?
Yeah.
That is a golden question. Stray Kids apparently reaching all the highest points of Billboard 200.
That's right. They are the latest K-pop act to reach number one on the Billboard charts. With its latest EP and main track, Stray Kids have topped 6 Billboard charts, including the Billboard 200, which is the Billboard albums chart. Their EP is titled Oddinary, not Ordinary, Oddinary.
That's so clever.
Yes, it was number one on Billboard's top album sales, top current album sales, world albums chart, and the title track Maniac topped the world digital song sales chart, and the band has also landed at the top of the Artist 100 list as well.
We really like to celebrate outliers, don't we? Maniac.
That's right.
I had my friend's daughter who kept on singing the lyrics to Savage by aespa.
Oh my goodness.
She asked me if that was a good thing, and I was baffled as to how to answer that, right? Because the song celebrates being savage, right? Same thing here, celebrating being a maniac. The feat comes some 4 years since Stray Kids' debut back in 2018.
Yeah, JYP Entertainment Stray Kids was formed back in 2017. There was a reality show of the same name, Stray Kids, and the members officially debuted in March of 2018, the following year, with the EP I Am Not. There are currently 8 members, but there used to be 9. One member, Ujin, actually dropped out for unspecified reasons in 2019. And this is the first time the 8-member group made it to the Billboard 200 and is now the 3rd K-pop group to top the chart after BTS and Super M.
Super M also topped Billboard 200? I had no idea. I mean, they were kind of the super group from SM, but I just didn't realize they were so popular. Stray Kids also has an international tour coming up as well.
That's right. The group is going to kick off its international tour with a Seoul concert on April 29th. And from June to July, it's going to hold 13 performances in 10 cities in the U.S. and Japan.
There you go. Tours are back on.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for, I know this is such a tangent, but if I can remember their name, Epic High at Coachella. I don't know why that excites me so much.
Because, well, we've been through the last 2 years.
I think so. Yeah. It was kind of slow as far as, face-to-face concerts went. Right. So it's kind of exciting.
It is.
How have the Stray Kids members responded to big news of charting tippy top of Billboard 200?
Well, they were interviewed by Billboard on Twitter Spaces on Mondays. Twitter Spaces is basically a space where they have audio conversations.
Ew.
It's kind of like Clubhouse.
Oh, no.
A little bit like that.
Is that still trending, Clubhouse? We stopped talking about it.
I haven't heard anything about it in recent months.
We've moved on, apparently, to Twitter Spaces.
And anyways, the group members said they were completely surprised. It took some time, they said, to process the information. And what's even more amazing for them is that the Billboard 200 milestone for Oddinary isn't their first chart topper, but it's their first chart entry.
What?
In fact. The Stray Kids, of course, thank their fan base. Yeah. They're very cute. They're called the Stays for their success, and everyone is happy.
Everyone is happy, and all is well with the world. Yep. Speaking of face-to-face events coming back alive, exhibitions connecting sports and the arts sector to open in Seoul. What do I make of this?
Isn't that interesting, though?
It's fascinating.
Yeah, this is an exhibition that aims to shed light on the cultural and historical relationship between sports and art. It's going to be held in Seoul later this week, and the exhibit will run for 4 months.
All right.
And the Seoul Olympic Museum of Art, which is also known as the SOMA Museum, said 35 artworks created by 17 artists will be on display, held between April 1st and August 7th. They include works by Marina Abramovic from Serbia and author Eugenio Ampudia from Spain.
The comparison doesn't draw an immediate connection for me, honestly. The cultural and historical link between sports and arts, their approach, their mastery of their respective fields. But I guess if you dig just a little bit deeper, it does make sense. Both artists and athletes constantly challenge their limits of their bodies and minds.
Yeah, that's right.
And maybe that's the common ground. What can visitors actually expect to see and experience at Soma.
According to the museum, the show is divided into 3 sections. The first section explores the beauty of the human body through training and sports. The second section looks into the technological advances, changing art and sports. And third, it shows the extremes of humanism in sports and art. And one of the highlights of the exhibit is going to be these 5 dresses designed by Korean designer Lee Sang-bong for Olympic gold medal winning figure skater Kim Yeona. And these dresses are being shown publicly for the very first time.
I remember there was this one high-end brands exhibition. So it was all about their trunks and travel cases. And it had Kim Yeona's ice skates in it. And I thought, I'm here to see this. But I feel like the costumes may send a much bigger message. We all remember the bold blue, the James Bond
in
one.
Vancouver, I think,
yes.
the bold blue.
Who doesn't remember? So something to look forward to. Thanks, Yerika.
Pleasure.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Have a great day.
If you're listening to our program using the podcast service, just a reminder that we do go live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Korea Standard Time. So tune in and help us make the show more informative by giving us your input. See you bright and early on Good Morning Seoul.